That's nice. Never thought I'd watch it, bro.
So I'm going to start in a few moments, just tweaking a couple things. One of the things I wish I could do is edit the titles at this stage, but too late to do that. Okay. Okay, let's get down to the code. Well, let's actually go to the docs. So yesterday we left off right here. Yeah, I think there was I left it as a problem. There was some errors that I'll show you. Let's see, go to console, and you can see if we scroll back. Yeah, here we go. So when I kept trying to rescaffold or just not scaffold or just update, by non-scaffold, I mean just updating the post and removing some of the things that I had done, it didn't want to work. It was still erroring on the website. So what I did do is I used this information here to delete all the relevant ones. Ironically, the last one and the one I forgot right off the bat was this one. So I'm not sure at this time whether I needed to delete all of these or if it was actually just this SDL. But what happened was I just opened my Finder in the Mac and I just nuked everything. So it was quite easy to do. I just filtered by created by and nuked them. There was a lot of files, a lot of small changes that were made as part of the Git that session. So I didn't want to do it that way. Let's be honest, if I was keeping up with my Git nice and sexy, like that would have been the best way to do it. But I didn't. So I'm just going by session. So I nuked all of these, and then let's see, that happened down here. Then I rescaffolded it, everything went, and then if I go back to here, you can see that I spun up the development server again, and then everything worked. There we go. Clear now, don't need that. Clear this because everything's working. And now I need to spin up my dev server. Let's see here, get it working. That should be here. And refresh. My system is getting slower and slower as the days go by. So I'll put that over here. There's nothing important there. So I have a very big screen, and I gotta tell you, it's still not big enough. So I think it's 32 inches, 4K screen, and yeah, you definitely need like 227s or 225s because the width is just absolutely necessary. I have a lot of vertical in my 32, and I'm always happy with that. But as a streamer, I'm thinking no. By the way, this is my wife handed me this for my coffee this morning. Okay. Let's see where we are. So now we got it working. Let me run that post. So we go to posts just to bring us back up to speed, and I create one and I say hello world, and this is the 500th time I tried this and it will work because it worked the first few times and then it worked. There we go. So one of the things you're not seeing on this unfortunately, is that if I scroll over, you'll see that there is a show, edit, and delete button. They all work. So I can go like this, and go, big ones, and now you see this. And if you want to see what the post looks like, great. And if you go back to posts, it'll actually show it here. But none of this is nice. This is like admin, right? And so if you want to delete it, you can delete it, and there it's gone. So let's do the hello world again. And then this is my 501th. Can we do 501th? 501st? 501st. Isn't that the really good squadron from Star Wars, the Empire? Huh. Whoever knows that, let me know. 501st. World. So I'm going to save that. So we have a demo again. See the show, edit, okay, it's all good. So now I'm going to take us back to the docs. And we're here. We've done all this. This is all wonderful. Also, you'll notice that their IDs is 1 and 2, and mine was 3. And the reason mine is 3, you see it right here, is because I had already created 2 posts when we worked on it yesterday, and I think maybe the session before yesterday's as well. So let's go. It should auto increment as per our post model. Okay, if we delete, click, should we want to delete? We've deleted. This is a great little breakdown on all the things that were created when we scaffolded. If nobody remembers what we did for scaffolding, we ran this right here. Probably good if I highlighted in the browser. I can actually make that a little bit bigger for everybody. Doesn't really affect anything on my end. So the RW means Redwood. That's shorthand. You can write Redwood or just leave that. The G, I don't think the G has a long form. It typically means... what does it mean, actually? It doesn't mean what I think it means. It's not global, I don't think. It just means, yeah. Son of a bugger, I wish I could remember. And scaffold and post. So the scaffold is a command, and post is the model that you're commanding it to generate. The route. Well, the many things, but associated with that model. Okay? So generate naming conventions. Oh, here we go. So this is going to talk about why you see, so like if you look up here, like look at edit post cell, post cell, post cell. It's pretty wild, but I was talking with a couple of the guys, or I watched a video. It's really hard. I talk with the Redwood guys more than I talk to anybody, which is not a lot because core developers don't have time. And I've been very fortunate to have a few interactions with them. But it was either that or a video. I can't remember which. It might have even been documentation, but the summary is that this allows for a much easier and better readability for developers when they're reading through the files and structure. So that's a really big one. Okay, great. And so the generate naming conventions, blah, blah, blah. You can read that in your own time. View a list of posts without links to edit and delete. What can they do? All right. So creating a homepage. So now we need to create a homepage for our blog, right? Because this is essentially an admin panel. The one that we were just looking at, this over here on the right where it says posts, that's essentially inside. So like if you logged into WordPress, that's what it would do. So now we want to do that on our actual code here. We want to create that. One criteria would be we want to look at those posts. We want them to be displayed nicely, and we don't want to have edit or delete there. And then, of course, a single post. These are all classic blog things. If you don't know what a blog is, feel free to look up blog examples or something like that. We need to get the content from the database. Yep. Okay, great. Let's go to the next step. Right, that was the last. Sorry, there's actually, this goes on so long that I wonder. Okay, I am at the bottom. Okay, so cells. These features are common in most web apps. We wanted to see if there was something we could do to make developers' lives easier. We call when it comes to adding them to a typical component. We think we've come up with something to help. We call them cells. Cells provide a simpler, more declarative way to approach data fetching. Actually, I'm going to open this here and look at cells. Cells are a declarative approach to data fetching and one of Redwood's signature modes of abstraction. So I'm not sure if everybody knows what abstraction is, but abstraction is like, so you have a food processor. This is one of the most common examples, by the way. So you have a food processor, you press a button, it blends stuff. You don't know all the things that it did on the inside of the machine to make that happen. You just know you put the top lid on and you press the button and it blended. You don't know the speed that it blends. You don't know, nothing. And that's abstraction. You have abstracted away the complexity of that machine to a single button. Now, it doesn't have to be a single button. It can still be something complex, like say a TV remote. But the TV remote doesn't tell you how it switches from video 1, video 2, or HDMI 1, HDMI 2, right? It doesn't tell you how it does that. You don't care. You just press and it changes to the different HDMI. That's all you do. Did you like the sound effects? Critical functionality to this this stream. So what they use this cells concept as their way of abstracting. It's a higher order component, or HOC. You'll see it a lot in React. Since they use React in Redwood, I'm assuming most people will know what an HOC is. So you can go here, generate. So yarn, run Redwood CLI, generate command cell and the name of the cell. This creates a directory named cell something cell, right? As you see below here, user cell. Ours will probably be post cell, if I recollect correctly. And then it does a bunch of different things for you, like query, before query, after query, loading, empty. So you ever have like the nice little loading thing or loading behaviors? It actually creates that component for you. Let's see here. So when you create a cell, you export several specially named constants, and then Redwood takes it from there. Wow, I have not read out loud in so long. A typical cell may look something like this. So there's the loading thing that I was telling you. So then it creates a little div and it says it's loading. If there's nothing there, it'll say no posts yet. This is what failure looks like, and success, which is great. This is just the bomb, what we're looking at here. This is so much boilerplate work that you just don't have to do. There are some lifecycle helpers, like before query for message. That should be messaging, not massaging. For massage. Oh no, it is actually massaging any props before being given to the query, and after query for massaging the data returned from the query, but before being sent to the success component. Okay. The minimum you need for a cell are the query and success exports. That's true. If you're a new developer, then odds are good that you've actually probably never written an empty or a failure or any of those things. It's a weakness of all junior developers. Okay, so we want to create one. The homepage displays is the homepage displaying a list of posts is a perfect candidate for a first cell. Naturally, there is a Redwood generator for them. There we go. So everything here is stock. You can use everything, including this, if you want it in your own unique project. The only thing I'd say is obviously the name could be your own for whatever purposes you're using. Okay, so there's nothing here that's unique to this tutorial other than that name. Names are always unique, right? So I'm going to go to code view. Oh, no, I'm going to go to the console. where did I put the console? There we go. I hit it up there. And I'm going to open this one. Okay, so I'm in my root. I'm going to run that yarn. If anybody notices, I always copy and paste when I can copy and paste. Not always the best thing when you're trying to learn something, it's like in this circumstance. But considering I want to reduce the number of errors that I can make clerically in front of you, just so it reduces confusion. So for me in this moment, it's better to do it. But for you, type it because it'll help you remember things and commands more readily. Okay, so here we go, blog posts. There we go. Let's look what the generating cell, which we wanted. So it's, oh, that's short for generator. That's what it was. It was generator. Yeah, because we were looking at it and it says in the docs generator. Yeah, generate. So it's generate. So G is short for generate. So yarn redwood generate cell blog posts. Great. So it's generating cell files. And then it's creating all of these files. So it's got our mock tests, our stories, which is from Storybook. And I discussed that lightly in part 1. And then we got our tests, and then our component, our React component. I think that's what that'll be. Well, let's go take a look at it. So code view. Let's see, we got the component. Let's see what we got. So we got our GraphQL query. Oh, see, GraphQL, GQL, GraphQL. We got our loading, We got this. Define your own mock data. Yeah, so we can write a test, stock test. Stories, so this is for Storybook. Okay, this is our, right, this is the mock data. Sorry, did I say test? I meant this is the tests that are stock to this, and then so this is our code, our React code, so to speak. Okay, so this just turns it as a string. It's actually pretty great that it returns it as a string for one really simple reason, because if you don't have any HTML or anything like that to add structure to this, it will be presented in the browser instead of an error. Or ugly. So I think, did it add it? Posts, new. Let's see. Okay, let's keep going down here. Let's go back. Okay, we're in the tutorial cells. Go back to our cells. When you look at what do we want? When you create a cell, you export several things. A typical cell might look like, okay, so this is just an example. Okay. Could render it like this. Oh, I didn't take you back to the docs yet. So I'm reading through the docs here. So I could just copy and paste this right there. I'm getting the feeling that the typical cell might look like it. Okay, so it's I think it's implied that they want us to overwrite this like that. So I'm gonna comment this out though, because it's inferred what I'm supposed to do as opposed to just saying it. Report query, display loading. Helpers, our first call. Okay, so no, we have to go back. So let's go here. Indicating multiplicity to the cell generate. When generating a cell, you can use any case you'd like, and then we'll do the right thing when it comes to naming. These will all create the same file. That's neat. So what did I do? I did, yeah, blog posts. Okay. So that's good. So it creates a very standardized environment. That's neat. To get up and running quickly and running as quickly as possible, the generator assumes you've got root GraphQL query name the same thing as your cell, and gives you the minimum query needed to get something out of the database. In this case, the query is called blog posts, which we got. Okay, which we have not got. However, this is not a valid query name for our existing posts and services. To see where these files come from, go back to the query. Okay, I'm gonna open that. I always like to open stuff. I'll probably, what I would normally do is I'd finish this page, and then I would go to that and read it. I don't like to read it in the middle, despite the fact it would generally help me to understand what's happening. But because if I'm going back and forth, it just becomes harder to learn what's in front of me. Okay, so we'll have to rename that just posts in both the query name and in the prop name in success. So that's this and this. Okay, so let me just share it, code view. So we need to change this and that to posts. Okay, anyway, who doesn't know what I just did to highlight that? All I did is double click on it. So if I go back and I double click on something, it'll find all the matches. Then I did Command D on a Mac, and then I just posts. So there we go. Looks like we're done with regards to that. Okay, there's nothing else to do. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down, take it back to the docs. Let's plug this cell into our home page. Okay, so let's take this, go to our home page, which is home page, pages, home page. There we go. And I'm gonna comment this out. I like commenting stuff out when I'm trying to learn. Oh, I got copy. Okay, let's copy. Still copying, so there must be a bug in that code. There we go. And that's done. Okay, so that looks good. And now the browser should actually show an array with a number. Okay, so let's go back to the home page. I'm in the code, go to code view. So you see that I've copied and pasted it. And now you see in the preview, I'm going to delete the posts and go back to the home page, and there we go. That should show that. So if I was to go back and I was to delete this, I should get that page that shows. So come on, there we go. Need a empty. Okay, and that's happening here in our blog cell. Right here, empty. So if I go, I actually did something like this in mine. What? It's empty. Oh no. Let's see. It's going to refresh on its own. There we go. So now we'll go back to our home page and everything's good. Let's go to posts. Add a post in there. Hello world. World HW2. Should have 4. There we go. Go back to the home page and there we go. Okay, and it's an array. You can see that by these bars here. So this is why we use string. String, what was I? Let me just, right here, stringify. That's what's happening in the browser over here. That's string that's being displayed in the HTML. Okay, so going back to the browser docs, let's go back here. I grabbed that code. We only had one post, so we saw it. In the successful component, where did posts come from? Notice in the query that the query we're making is posts. Whatever the name of this query is, that's the name of the prop that will be available in success. Okay. So what we're doing is we're getting this complete object back and we're destructuring for posts. Sorry, we're getting, how are they doing it? So it's name of the prop that will be available. Success with your data. You can alias the name of the variable containing the result. Right. Okay. Post IDs will be available to success instead of post. Right. Okay. So, so what you're doing. Let me go. I think I have to show you this. Okay. So, what they're saying here is that if I want to use something different, like let's say, what was it? IDs. So associate this data with this right down here. So now this becomes like this. And boom. Now we'll see, it should refresh. It's good. Okay, so if you want to rename it. I do think that's adding a level of complexity, but you never know what could be happening on a page, so it's worth saying. So I want to do something else though. Let's see this. No. Okay. It's not. Okay, that's cool. What about this one? Something went wrong. Oh, that's cool. Starting an object with constructor. Okay. None of that's really surprising. I just was curious to know. Like I said, I don't work with GraphQL very often, so I was curious to know. What is? What if I don't destructure? What happens? Boom, something went wrong. Let's see. Inspector. Just looking in the console right now, I just want to see what the error is. Close this. So you can see with me. Okay, so you only have access to this object. That's cool. There we go. We're all good. Everything's back. We're loved by the world. Great. So. Just bring the console down a little bit. Everything you do in OBS is like up and down and up and down. I'm gonna just leave it like that. So it works. Okay. Now post IDs will be available with success instead of posts in addition to the ID. Okay, so just in case you were wondering, so yeah, so posts has to be something that's has to do with your API. So if we go back to our Prisma, this is post. And there's our posts created from that. There's the schema. Okay. So this is fixed. If this can't change, it can't go like that. One and not a crash. Error response not successful. Okay. So the post has to stick to the format. But you can rename it. In addition to the ID that was added. Okay, so let's get this. I don't know about you, but if you're JavaScript, well, any kind of developer, really, it's very bizarre to not see commas between each one of these. I wonder if it actually worked. Sometimes there's like products that will tolerate stuff like that. Yeah, well, who knows why? What's the deal with that? But that was cool. Cool that it will tolerate it. Because I see that as a mistake that I would make. Okay, so now we're back to the docs. So let's see, I added these in, as you saw. Scrolling down. Now we're in the realm of good old React components to just build out the success component and display the blog post in a nicer format. Okay, yeah, because it does look like crap right now. That's for sure. Okay, so let's grab that. Okay, so most important thing is to know right away it's in an array. So that's why we're going to take the posts and we're going to map it. Okay, so we're going to go to the code. I copied it already. Okay, and then we renamed it post IDs. So what'll happen is I'm going to do this. I'm going to post this, and then of course it's not posts, it's post IDs. So I'm going to take this, okay, go like this, and maintain the consistency. There we go, and now you can see it printing out. Nice, right? Look at how fast that was. You know, it's took hours to show this on a live stream, but really this is the amount of code I've done is probably 30 minutes worth of code, and I'm already like 20% of the way to a finished product, or 15%, which is enormous. Okay, so posted, created at. I really don't like this post IDs, by the way. I'm going to change it. Posts. That'll work. There we go. And then I'm going to don't need that now. Oh, what did I do? Posts. I skipped this one. Posts. There. I may have to probably get feedback on this one because they're bouncing back and forth and it's easy to make a oof. Let me just do that localhost. Posts. And then get a new post in there. So second post. Hello, David. Actually, I think I was talking about Rob also. Gotta give respect to the people who help you out and take time out of their days. Was Rob? Was it? Yeah, it was. Hello to David, and there's other people that were being supportive, but those two have been very interactive, so give a little extra. There we go. The David and the Rob. Everything looks good. I love it. Okay, let's go. Okay, so now let's see here. Okay, let's go back to the docs. Okay, so to sum up, what did we actually do to get this far? Generate the homepage, generate the blog, define the database schema. That was 5 minutes. Run migrations to update the database and create a table. Yeah. Scaffold the CRUD interface to the database table. Yeah, that was the page at the not the cell. It was what was it? It's the one that created all the posts. I can't remember all the commands yet. So created a cell, then we created the cell yet to load the data and take care of load up to failure, adding the cell to the page. This would come with standard lifecycle open features as you build a Redwood app. So far, other than a little HTML we haven't done. to do what I should do. This is so awesome. Okay, so this is going to be it for today. I have to go. I'm going to start keeping them shorter like this. I just do more because I can sneak them in when I need a break. But what I'm doing some hockey. I'm doing a hockey app, sports management app. So if anybody wants to be a source of wisdom for me on using Redwoods, that I can talk to and ask questions when I get stuck, that'd be great. But otherwise, I'll see you all later and have a great day. Ciao. That's the first time I used that screen. I like it.